G'day trendsetters, we are here for the last one of the series. It's a bit sad, I'm getting a bit teary. I couldn't play any songs then, because copyright will get me. So I sort of played half riffs, and a bit of half this riff and half this riff, and cut them together, and if I get caught with copyright, I'll have to wipe it and upload it again, which will be disappointing. But we are here, and I wore the king of rock and roll for the last day. All right, now that's over. I'll answer a few questions before we get to the last beer. People have asked what I do for beauty tips, like how I keep this youthful look. I don't do anything. I drink beer. Anyway, here's a sledge to Purvis. Right? Here's a sledge. I think there might be more, but here's a sledge. Why isn't there a 25? It's an advent calendar. You think they'd get it all the way to Christmas Day, and on Christmas Day you come to this pinnacle of a beer and you drink it. Are they too scared to choose a pinnacle? Are they too cheap? Come on, Purvis. I don't know. Do any of the others? Maybe they don't. Maybe they think because it's a case they only give you 24. That doesn't cut it in my book. You know what they should do? You know what I'd do? And I'd be a winner. I'd launch one of these. Maybe I should next year. There'll be a homebrew or gash slug advent calendar, and you buy a case, and it's all secret-like, right? You get your 24, but it's not going to be secret anymore. But you get your 24, right? And they deliver it to you by, December the 1st. And then, depending on public holidays and stuff like that, but you get that last can delivered in a little box, or with Christmas wrapping and a little label on it. Going, here you go. Here's the beer we shortchanged you all the other years when you should have got 25 in your advent calendar. All right, settle down. People have asked me what equipment I've been using. I have been using it in my videos for a lot lately. It's a Canon M50, which are pretty old these days. There's supposed to be an update model coming, but they're great little mirrorless camera. They're really, really small, and I can carry it around and stuff. But I do have a new lens for it. Well, I've had it for a few months now. The Sigma 16mm lens that gives you the good stuff where things blurry behind you. Depth of field. But as you saw, I must have bumped something for a couple of videos. I couldn't get it to work because there's no focus on it. There's no, well, the camera has the autofocus, but on the lens there's no this bit, none of that. You can turn things, but it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? And this is this has all been thanks to my patrons too. I've been able to get equipment over the last year. This is a Rode wireless microphone. Just recently I've switched to having the lapel. Yeah, and that's a Rode lapel too, just because I knew it would fit in. That's about it. I have got a new LED light. They're really cheap. It's a Newer one. They're called Newer. That's the brand. They're dirt cheap. I've got a few around the place because I used to use those big, huge things with these big light bulbs that are this big. And they were cheap from China, but they were a nightmare to store in the garage, and every time the wind blowed, they'd blow down. So that's it. The niceties are out of the way. Unfortunately, we're down to the last beer when it's only the 24th of December. Purvis at least could have put a VB for number 25. All right. I haven't looked at the details. The can is sitting behind me on the desk. There somewhere, there. Oh no, I just saw the details. I shouldn't say oh no, because they're a great brewery. At least they have the name of their brewery on the can, which some of yous don't. You should. Be proud of your name of your brewery. Whack it on the can. Anyway, we are here. This is a beer from Boat Rocker. I have been to Boat Rocker's brewery at least twice. I would have been more, but it's on the other side of town. They do a lot of barrel-aged stuff, soury barrel-aged. They always have sort of a pale and an IPA on. Every time I've been there, they have anyway. And they do some really nice stuff. I don't remember his name. I know my friend Ruth used to work there for a little while, but I can't remember the name of the guy who was the brewer. But I know when I turned up on a sort of a brewery crawl one day, he gave us a look around and gave us a taste of a beer that was coming up for Gabs, all that sort of thing. Really nice guy. Get out there if you can. Jungle Jive Hoppy Sour. It's the last beer in the pack. How old are you, Purvis man? 12? with your bum nut on your head. What are you doing with a hoppy sour as a last beer? They're 2 years old. That's not trendy. I expected something new and fresh. And you give me a hoppy sour for the last beer of the pack. You nearly tried to build us up there. Co-conspirators in IPA, or Oat Cream IPA, Hop Nation IPA, hoppy sour. And this is no fault to you, Boat Rocker, because you're good. And I haven't tasted it. I should taste it. Although the name's sort of familiar, but maybe it's just one of those familiar names. But the can isn't familiar. Then again, I've never seen Boat Rocker in a can. This is the first can I've ever seen Boat Rocker in. So maybe I have had the beer at the brewery before. Before I keep assuming, I'm going to need my glasses because the colours on this can are way out, man. This is the last can in the pack. Jungle Drive brings the party with a perfect combo of sour and tropical fruit flavours, a perfect summertime refreshment. Contains water, barley, malt, hops and yeast. Thanks. That's it. Made by Boat Rocker Brewing at 51 Macbeth Street, Brayside, Melbourne, Victoria. You can do a great tour of all the breweries on the east side. You got way more than us. And you don't get stabbed. Oh, then again, it's changed. Things are changing. There's lots of people getting stabbed on the east side these days. 5.5% hoppy sour. Let's get it into the glass. Is it sacrilege putting a hoppy sour into a Cooper's vintage glass? And it's a vintage Cooper's vintage glass, if that makes sense. Look, it's pouring lovely. I won't grab the sludge just in case there is. Oh, look at that. It's sitting really nice. Come on. Focus. I will say that for as long as it's been in the glass so far, it's holding its head well for a sour. Yeah, so there it is. To me, it's looking lovely. A light straw colour. It's got a lovely light aroma. What you'd expect from a sour beer. It's not too much, but to me, I always call it fruit tingle. And I know it's not always fruit tingle, but you've heard me probably say it for nearly every sour beer. I've been disappointed when it isn't there, but really happy when it is there. And it is there in the aroma here. Hopefully it's there in the taste. Nah, it's a really light, refreshing aroma. It's very, very easy to drink. I don't want to say it's nearly watery, but it's really dry. It's really light. But it's getting my mouth salivating from the sourness, but it's not extremely sour. Yeah, it's quite nice. Before I finish it, I'm going to go looking for the hops. I can taste them. You don't get much in aroma, but again, sour beers, although they can feel, as I always say, sparkly on the tongue, they often go flat very quickly, and that's for a combination of things. So getting a hop aroma, to leap out into your nose is really hard. And yeah, I'm not getting, and even swirling it and spitting it, I'm not getting any more from it. It's a nice, and I'd call that an entry-level sour. I don't think those ones without any sourness. You've got to have a bit of sourness to be an entry-level sour. I don't find these ones that are a little bit tart from the raspberry or, something like that. Then they're tart from the raspberry. You can do that with a lager. This has got that sour for the entry level. It's a little bit, for me, watery. But, sours they are thin and dry. They can be. I'm getting that fruit tingle, but it's a little bit watered down fruit tingle. I'm not getting much hop. Of course, I can taste the hop. Like, it's there. But I think, to me, this is the only thing that's letting this beer down a little bit is, well, what they called it, a hoppy sour. Again, I like the can to, you know, if I was going to buy it in a shop, that's the way I look at it, and I read the label and go hoppy sour. You want it to be hoppy and you want it to be sour. Well, this is hoppy and sour, but it's the bottom end. Oh, see, the aroma's really nice. That's where it started with the aroma. But at the end, it's not a bad beer. It's just it's a little bit disappointing. I'm still going to give it it just gets a thumbs up, but only just. It's been a hard beer to judge, this one, and that's why I've finished it. There's not many that I've finished on camera. That might be the only one. It nearly has that Riesling taste when beers have been put on Riesling skins and things like that. But if you're a beginner and you want to try one that's a little bit of a step up from the raspberry ones that are full of raspberry, and you actually want to taste a little bit, that's not a bad one to try. Jungle Dry from Boat Rocker. I'm sure I've had this before. So sadly, that's it. There's none for the 25th. There's none for Christmas Day. How ridiculous is that? They should have went out on a big high. And sorry, Boat Rocker, as much as I do love your beers. I've been there several times and I will be back. But they should have went out, I don't know. I think they should have went out with a bang. And I'm really sorry, Boat Rocker, because I do love that. That beer was nice, but, you know, something new. Like, in America, I've had beaver testicle sour stouts are the thing. And I myself have trialled it with possum testicles. Possum testicle sour stouts. They're really, really good. I haven't quite got it. There's some of my mob up in Queensland that tried it with a quokka testicle sour stout with the squeeze of goanna gallbladder. I hear that's the secret. I do. So all I want to say here, we're at the end. It is a bit sad. I should just go and get one of mine. We can't leave on a note like that, can we? So here's a little bit of a sneak peek. Well, actually, that's not a sneak peek. We'll talk about that. That's the Brew and Eclipse IPA. But look at that. Again, it looks darker on the screen. It's way lighter than that, and it's crystal clear. But here's a sneak peek. This is a sneak peek, and it's a little bit yeasty, of the Hefeweizen that I dumped a third fresh wort on 3 days in. It's not carved yet. It's been in the keg about 2 days, and usually I force carb, but I haven't found the need to at the moment because I'm not drinking through the week, and yeah. So it's just sitting in the kegerator slowly carbing up at pouring pressure, which is 14 psi. And it's yeasty because I couldn't cold crash it. If you're following my brewing videos, I've got the 2 other brewing fridges are full. So I had to pull this out because this was done actually fermenting, and I let it sort of sit for 2 or 3 days at the end of a ferment in the garage here because it didn't need to be in the fermenting fridge anymore, where the other 2 were a bit younger and had to be. So yeah, so it's a bit, the yeast is falling out in the keg is what I'm saying. It's only been cold for a day and a half, or 2 days in the fridge. It took a day to get cold, so it's first day, so the bottom pour is going to be a bit yeasty. But I am getting some banana and clove. It's changing. Yesterday I thought it was all clove. Today I'm getting that yellow lolly banana type aroma. It's a bit thin, but I expected that because I didn't put anything in to boost the body. I wanted to keep the body really, really, I mean the malt bill really, you know, plain. Wheat and Pilsner. Oh, you would not believe, just after all the stuff ups during trying to do 25 videos in 25 days, you would not believe what just happened. I didn't realise my camera stopped recording on half an hour. You know, I knew it did it in blocks, but a lot of cameras they changed to the next block after half an hour. Well, that one didn't, so I just raved on and had tears and everything and love for everybody. I'm not 100% sure where we left off. I'm not 100% sure why this video is going for so long. This here is my 3.8 IPA. Excuse me for talking like a maniac, but I just spent probably another 20 minutes describing this beer and how it is actually really clear. You can see down there it's really clear. It's just hard to, when up here with condensation and stuff because it's cold. But yeah, exactly the same malt bill as my other 5 or 3 oat cream NIPAs, and pretty close to the 2 NIPAs I did before that. All I did differently was I did use a different yeast, and I didn't dry hop at High Krausen. But besides that, crystal clear. I'm not enjoying the Eclipse in this. The HBA 16 as it was when I made it. I'm not enjoying it. I just used it like any other hop. I did mix it with Brew -1. It's nearly 50-50 Brew -1, which is a lot of pineapple, and HBA 16 or Eclipse, which is a whole mix of things. And I'm just getting that. There's that thing, there's that tang. If Eclipse is Australian, I would not be surprised if it, and I haven't looked into the family history, but I would not be surprised if it's Pride of Ringwood or somewhere there. It's got that Pride of Ringwood bitterness, which I don't mind, but you've got to know about it. And like I'm saying, I've got to learn about it. Other breweries have got to learn about how to use it. Because it's got this thing at the back end, and I've said it before, reminds me in other videos, I think, in this series, that there's the thing of a warm VB. And that's what I'm getting. And I reckon it's the Eclipse. I don't think that's from the Brew -1. Someone might tell me I'm wrong. I'm no expert, and I'm only new to these hops. So, but I pushed it. I mean, I didn't go extreme. But you can see that I'll put the recipe down below if I remember to. Look, as we're coming up to Christmas and New Year and stuff, I just want to say a big thank you. I really appreciate it. I didn't expect to be sitting here in my garage. As I said, I started in other videos, I started doing tutorials back before I moved here. That was, well, we've been here for 10 years or something. About 11 years ago in Braybrook. And I appreciate it. I really do. So thanks to everyone who's watched any video and liked and subscribed. And to be honest, even to you assholes, the ones that are really rude in the comments. I mean, I don't delete comments. I've never deleted a comment. The extreme ones where people are advertising porn and that I'll delete. But I don't delete comments. If your comment doesn't make it, it's because YouTube has cancelled it. But you know, you put a video up and you think you're really nice in it, and somebody goes, "What'd you do that for? You shouldn't do that." And you go, "Hang on, I'm just making a video. This is how I do it in my garage. It doesn't mean you have to do it." But the hugest thank you goes out to my Patreons. Or patrons. I don't know how you even talk about it. I'm still struggling to work out how you use the whole thing on Patreon. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. There's no way in the world. Like I was labouring for about 6 or 7 years, and then my wife had a kid. But before that, it was all band work and stuff, and trade. But then, I laboured for about 6 or 7 years, and then we had kids, and they couldn't survive on, even though I was labouring, we couldn't survive on my wages. So I became the stay-at-home dad. And that's what I've done. That's why you've seen me on video for the last 10 years. But then, both my second kid, the youngest, Holly, just started school this year. And if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would have had to try and go and get a job somewhere, because we need to survive, you know how it is. It's only because of my patrons that I've been able to keep doing this. Because if I had a job, there's no way in the world I could keep doing it. Even just these tasting videos. People think you just have a beer at the end of the day, but you know, it does. So it might take me 2 or 3 hours to edit, and I know that sounds funny, but I've got to cut things because I repeat things. I'm hopeless. I stumble. I'm out of focus, and then I've got to cut. You know, get the picture nice that pops up on the screen, and then the end screens and the intro, all that. It takes a lot of time. So I really, really appreciate it. And you all should appreciate them. I don't know how you can, but you should, because you wouldn't be watching this video without them. So the best thing you can do is just, and I never push it. Push like or whatever on the video, or share it. That's all. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, and it's a second thing to do. And I never asked for that. Like, I can't stand when I watch a YouTube video and you start watching it, and you see this blurb at the front. Hi, we're going to brew this today, or whatever. Not even talking about brewing, you know. We're going to carve a pumpernickel. I don't even know what a pumpernickel is. Out of a scrotum. And then, you know, you go, oh, that sounds all right. Then they play their little intro for their video. And then you're flogged with advertising. Join my Patreon and do this and do that. And like, I can't stand it, and that's why I don't do it. But at the same time, we can't survive without it, because YouTube videos, payments mean nothing. You don't get anything. Like, it's a point. I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. So again, a big thank you to my patrons. And I call them patrons. Are they my patrons? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I've never been worried about pronunciation. I've never been worried about it. I've heard that people have loved some of my humour through the tasting videos. That's usually in all videos, except I cut it out because videos are so long, and people don't watch long videos. So it always gets down to me, and it is, I'm going to brew this today, and it's and that's what it is, because otherwise the videos end up for 3 hours long. Merry Christmas if I don't see you beforehand. Happy New Year. Much love to you and your family. I know it's going to be hard for some people around the world, and we've been through that for this year. I haven't seen my family since last Christmas because we haven't been able to. Hopefully, we're going to just cross our fingers, and then it'll last for tomorrow, and I'll be able to see them. All right, take it easy. I love you all, and I really do. Peace. And I can't forget Greta. Greta always comments on my videos. Here you go. Take it easy. Cheers.